to live. I just couldn't wait until tomorrow because there was a pretty important announcement today by this guy right here, Marco Mendicino, Minister of Immigration. We're going to talk about that next. If you are a French-speaking individual, I've got some good news for you. Hey guys, Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, back again with another live Q&A, but not at the regular time. So it's a surprise for everyone. Well, like I said, I absolutely couldn't wait until tomorrow morning at 10 to share with you guys some pretty amazing news that was just announced today by this fellow right here, Marco Mendicino, who is the Minister of Immigration in Canada. And what did he announce? Well, he announced that there are additional points that are going to be awarded for those who speak French. And what is the purpose behind all of this? As you can see right here, guys, the whole goal is to try to get more French-speaking francophones outside the province of Quebec living in other areas of Canada. So in order to do this, they are making it more advantageous for all of you guys who can speak French. Well, you've got a leg up on other people now. So what has changed? Let me dive right in and I'll show you. So the biggest change that you're going to see as we flip over here to the actual comprehensive ranking system, and those of you who are following Express Entry, you know that this is the lifeblood of Express Entry. Without understanding how the CRS works, you're never going to know whether or not you have an actual chance of immigrating to Canada. So let's take a look. The big change that we're seeing here is that more points are being awarded if you speak French and a little bit of English. So let's scroll all the way down to the bottom. And then in a little bit, I want to hear what you guys have to think about this. So you can see here, this is the comprehensive ranking system. This is where we can go. You can Google it yourself. On this page, you'll see if you scroll right down to the very bottom today, which it still is for another 40 minutes, October the 27th, right down here today, it's been updated. Brand new change. And if we scroll up just a little bit, we'll see exactly what we're talking about. And as you can see right here, if you have an NCLC 7, which is basically like a Canadian language benchmark 7, or higher on all four French language skills, and you score at least a CLB 4 on the English test, you're going to get awarded an additional 25 points. And what does that mean in practice? Well, for many of you who, because of birthdays, are losing points because you're a little bit older, this is where you can gain them back. And it's not just a CLB 4. If you can hit a CLB 5 or higher on the English test, together with an NCLC 7 on the French side, you can get a whopping 50 points more. And guys, that can truly mean the difference between you qualifying to immigrate to Canada or not. Now, where does this come in and where does this apply most? Especially for you who've maxed out everything. You basically can't get anything more. Maybe you have a master's degree, you've got your 3 years of foreign work experience, and you have pretty good English, but now you're trying to figure out a way to score more points. Well, for those of you who are adventurous and have even a little bit of French, if you can figure out a way to learn that French and to increase your skills, not to a level CLB 9, but only a CLB 7 on the French test, it can help you to make up for things like a loss of age points. And if we go down to the age, many of you are very well aware of this. The moment you cross over the age of 29 years old, you're in a pretty tough situation because every birthday that you have after that, if you are married, you're losing 5 points. If you can see right here, if you're single, 5 points here, and then it takes a big jump for 6 points right there on your 31st birthday. So you can see you're losing 5 points every year. So if you're someone who's a little bit older, you know that you're going to be losing some points. Well, if you're looking for a way to be able to come to Canada, this is it. So, Minister Mendicino, what do you say? But I guess thank you. At the end of the day, those of you who come from countries where French is your first language, boy, you guys have got it made. These extra points make a huge difference. And so now I want to know, what do you guys think? So let's tune in and let's see who's actually connected in. And I'm always amazed at how many people are just showing up with no advanced warning. So let's see who we've got here today. Okay, Ralph is here. He's in the house. Welcome, Ralph. Good to see you. We've got Ankush here. He says hello. Who else do we have? Yeah, good. Ankush is from India. Tahir. Hi, Mark. Love you. Thanks, guys. Julius is here. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about this? Jadat, good evening to you, my friend from Dubai. Michael, good to see you. Thanks for connecting in. This is kind of fun. Anbu's in Miami. Hey, John, good to see you. Ralph says no buffering so far. Guys, it's been the bane of my existence. I swear, all of this buffering. I'm glad it's working so far. All right, Core, it's good to see you. Ralph's got the thumbs up. He's giving me good signs here. Okay, Agam says, is NCLC same to DELF or TEF? No. So what you guys, let's flip over here. I'm going to try to pull this up and show you guys what I'm talking about. Hopefully I can get the right angle here. I'm going to drop off Agam's comments. I'm going to flip over here to this one, I think it is. Yes. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what it actually means. So we're going to search up, I was just looking at it today, the language equivalency chart. So those of you who are wondering what this all means with the French, this is the best place to go. So when I talk about a CLB7, and if we go back to the actual ranking system and we look at the scores, you can see right here at the bottom, once we get there, there it is. You'll see right here that we're looking for an NCLC7, which is basically a CLB7. So if you're looking at the French test, the only two that you're going to be able to use is the TEF Canada or the TCF Canada. So those are the two tests that are available. And you can see right here, the CLB7, it's actually right here. This 7 level right here is what you want to be able to hit for the TEF. And in like manner, this 7 right here is what you want to hit for the TCF. Okay? So if you have that score coupled with at least a 4, if you can get a 4 on the IELTS, and we flip back here to the IELTS, and we go up here a little bit. So to reach it on the IELTS, a 4 is like way down here at the bottom. So even if you have just a little bit of English and good French, this is going to be huge news for you. But if you can hit just 5, can you imagine that, guys? Just 5. 4 in reading, 5 in the other abilities, and have a CLB7 right here on one of the French tests. Bam, that's a whole nother 50 points that you're going to get. So I think you guys get what I'm saying here. Now, obviously this news isn't going to help a lot of people, but some of you out there who are struggling, trying to figure out a way to get points, if you take 2 years, let's flip back to the screen again here. This is how it really plays out. If you take 2 more years, let's say you're in an age range, we'll go back to the ranking system and we'll jump back to age. So let's say you're in an age range where you're already into your 30s, okay? And you can see that you're going to be losing points. Let's say you're sitting at 450 points, all right? And your age, you're 32. Well, every birthday, you're losing at least 5 points. 5 points, 5 points, 5 points. Well, in 3 years, you're going to lose 15 points. But maybe in 3 years, you've learned French. You've been able to learn that level 7 French. Then that's your ticket to Canada. So that is the benefit to what we're talking about today. All right, let's see who else we have here. Other questions? Okay, all right. I guess we're opening it up to everybody. Ben says, my paper PR application deadline is October the 30th. It will arrive by my October 30th. Is that still too late? Okay, I'm assuming your paper PR app, you know what, my friend? I'm not sure which form you're going through, whether it's a PNP. I have to assume for PR, it could be a spousal. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for here, Ben, but your your paper PR app deadline, I'm not quite sure what you're getting, you know, if it's too late. Yeah, not sure, my friend. Okay, we'll move on here. Nasrat says hi. Philippe, hello, good to see you. Okay, so Frank Denoy says, so I guess it is bye-bye for me. Guys, you just don't know. Yes, this could push the scores up even higher. They could, it's possible. And to a large extent, it did push that up higher when back in 2017, they first introduced the first round of points, which used to be 15 or 30 instead of 25 or 50. All right, so what else do we've got here? Philippe, yes, it is madrugada, amigo meo. Bang, bang, settle. Okay, Gloria from Panama, hello. Lukshik is Sri Lanka. Okay, how big of an impact will it have on the CRS cutoff? We'll have to see. We just don't know. It's possible that if more French people start applying and they have those extra bonus 50 points, that could make the difference and could start to drive up the scores even higher. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Okay, we've got Eddie from Honduras. Welcome, Lucky. Good morning to you. Jagmeet, good to see you here. We've got a bunch of people tuning in. That's great. Arthur, good to see you. Hey, this one I can do whatever shout outs I want because it's kind of a live one. Victor, good to see you tuning in from New York. Ralph says Bella is coming. Guys, it's late here in Mountain Time, Alberta. It's late for you guys. All right. Ralph and Bella, those of you who have watched my past videos know they are like a brother and sister to me. They are past clients who went through unbelievable adversity, stuck it out, and were successful. And they're just like family to me. Tamirian, hi from Siberia. Tamirlan, how cold is it there? It's warmed up here in Lethbridge, so it's not as cold. It got down to the minus 20s Celsius, but how cold is it there? I'm always curious in the winter how cold it is in Siberia. Tanzil, I'm doing good. Okay. All right, Rona says the update gives us hope. Student here in postgrad. Very cool. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, here's the one that's kind of out there. I guess that one's taken over. We'll back it up a little bit here. See if you guys can read this. I'm having trouble. There's so much. Okay, so Mohammed says, hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I got my COPR and visa. Great. Plan on leaving for Canada March. Okay. I'd like for my mother to visit Canada along with me in March. However, is it an automatic rejection as I'm going on PR? She works here and has property under her name. Please advise. Thanks. My friend, I think you guys know what direction I'm going to go. I think I've got this. There you go. Mohammed, that's legal advice, my friend. We're definitely going to have to get you over to our firm. And let's see if I've got it here. I think I do. Booking one of these things. Go to Holthe Law, book a consult, and we can actually evaluate it because there's a lot of factors at play when it comes to these types of things. And you can see we're consistently adding and expanding our service offerings, the areas of focus, helping you to be able to choose who you want to help you most. And guys, I'm really shifting. I'm shifting and focusing most of my attention now on express entry and the corporate work I do for our global companies. And why would I do everything when Alicia and Susan are so awesome? So that's kind of where we're at there, but I recommend, my friend, that you consider, Mohammed, that you consider booking a consult because there's a lot of factors. Okay, this is a good question. Jaudet says, I'm not sure how long it could take to reach this level in French, especially when you're 34 now. Well, look at it this way, just like I explained, Jaudet. You take 3 years, let's say it takes 3 years to learn, you've lost 15 points, but you have the potential of earning up to 50 more. So something to consider. And yes, we don't know how this is all going to play out at the end of really at the end of the, well, this journey, I guess you could call it. We don't know how it's going to play out, what impact it's going to have on pushing the scores up. But this is positive news for a lot of people. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so Victor says, hey, I did a master's course-based program and I was able to complete it in 1 year. Which education category should I pick when asked for? Master's program. That's if the educational credential assessment is at a master's level, then that's what you use. If it's Canada and a master's, then it's a master's. All right. Okay, so Brain says medical passed and got the biometrics request. So does that mean my R10 check is passed? Yep. In most cases, they're not going to go through the medical assessment if you don't meet the minimum eligibilities. Bella, hello, Bella. It is good. So good to see you. Oh, I miss Jaden. Look at this, guys. I'm going to expand this. This is my Bella right here, my sister, and and Kai and Jaden. Oh, little Jaden Mark. Yes, Jaden Mark. They were crazy enough to give him my name as a middle name. Wow, that's what I mean. Family. Awesome, awesome people. Thanks for tuning in so late. You guys need to get some sleep. I need to get some sleep. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, Agam says, is this only for people who have their first language as French? Yes. So, well, technically you could, I guess your language, your English could be just as high. You could have English levels at a CLB 9 or higher. It doesn't matter. They just have to be at least a CLB 5 coupled with the French level at a level 7. And that's for all abilities. All right. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. I think I need to do a master class on this topic. So Robin says, hey, I'm a designer from India, and while I was studying my master's, I worked for 1 year as a freelancer for a design studio based in Germany. Great, you can do that. You just have to figure out a way to prove it, my friend. Okay, Gloria says, hey, this is so great. My husband and I were ready to apply for a student visa now in November, but he speaks English and French. We might drop this student visa and focus on language tests. Woo! I'm going to give you one of these. That's awesome. Congratulations. I knew that there was going to be some people that would benefit positively from this. All right. Okay. Yeah. And Ben says PNP. Yeah, my friend, that's great. As far as the timing of everything, I'm not sure exactly what your question was, Ben. Maybe you can rephrase it. We are not going to go too much longer now. I just wanted to answer a few questions. Louis, good to see you. Good evening from Mexico. Yes. We have Sarish. Hey, how are you doing? And yes, Rona, this updates is just for express entry at this stage. Okay, so then Mo says, hey, how about those with no French background? What minimum can they get in French if study for 3 months? Mo, that's entirely dependent upon each of you. Everybody picks things up faster than others. I would have to assume, given the fact I, as a young man, when I was 19, went and lived in Portugal for 2 years. And when you're young, you can soak up the language a whole lot faster than when you're older. So, and everybody has different aptitudes and abilities with languages. So that's something I can't answer, my friend. Okay. Vishav says educational requirements for this program. Well, understand for express entry, it is all about your ranking. And the more education you have, if you've got a master's, you're going to score way higher than someone who has a bachelor's degree. So right now, if you're not in Canada right now, you pretty much need a master's at a minimum. Well, unless you speak French. All right. Okay. And applicable all provinces in Canada except Quebec, ironically. So if you live in Quebec right now, there are ways to make this work for you. I just had some consults. In fact, I had 2 today that were from individuals living in Quebec or that had lived in Quebec, had a consult with me previously, and now have made some changes that allow them to qualify for express entry. And I'm looking forward to working collaboratively with them in the method that we use within our firm here, Holthe Immigration Law. And we'll just drop that comment out. See if we can switch Arona off here. But yeah, on our firm, we do a collaborative model when we work with our clients. So we're not the big brother who just takes over. It's all about us working collectively with you to get your application approved while you do your part and you maintain control. All right. Okay, Ben, I'm still not quite sure what you're referring to, my friend. Let me flip back here. She said, my PNP app will arrive on the deadline. What deadline are you referring to? I'm assuming that your nomination will expire. Well, it has to be received by immigration. And if it's not received by immigration, we're not talking about when you mail it, but when it's actually received, then they can reject it. They can bounce it, Ben. That's entirely possible. Okay. Philippe says, madrugada indeed. Yes, it is. All right. Hello there. We've got someone from Lebanon. Boy, I wish I had the ability to read all languages. Okay. Jan says, French CLB 6, how many points? Well, understand, it all comes down to, well, if it's not CLB 7, then you're not getting all those bonus points. So it just comes down to the points you get for a second language. So let's flip this back. Let's flip over to my screen again, and let's look at the comprehensive ranking system. So you can see here that age, level of education, official languages proficiency. If we go down to that, you'll see here, blah, blah, blah. So there's age, there's education, and here's language. So the first official language, that's how your points are going to play out. So if you have a CLB 6, whether it's English or French, doesn't matter. You're going to get those points per ability. And if it's your second official language, so if you have English and then French is your second, if you don't have CLB 7, then, and it's 6, you're just going to get hardly any points for that second language. You're only going to max out at 22 in any event, but that's just something to consider. And you can see how many more points. You know, you guys, I was talking about how many points you'd get if you had French ability at a CLB 11, a CLB 7 level. You could get 30 or up to 50. Well, it's not just that. You would also get, depending upon the corresponding language, whether French was your first and English was your second. If you were at a CLB 5, you're getting more points if that's what your English is as your second language. Or if you have really good English and good French, you can get as many as 3 or more per ability, or even max out at 6 or more. So things to keep in mind. All right, we're just about wrapped up here, guys. Just about ready to go to bed because it's 11:38 p.m. right now. Let's see what else we've got. See if we've got more that directly relate to French. Remember, 10 o'clock, we're going to be right back here doing another live Q&A, which is in, well, a little over 10 hours from now, because yes, I do need some sleep. And we're going to do a straight Q&A, nothing. I may touch briefly on the French again, but for the most part, it's all going to be Q&A. Okay, so if you don't get your questions answered now, hang around. I'll be back again in 10 hours. Okay, okay, this one, Luis, I can tell you, COPRs, if you're Outland, to a large extent, they're not going anywhere. So it is stuck. It is stuck. And I've had lots of consults with people about that. Let's see here. We're going to skip through. And yes, the question is, yeah, it's possible that this change could affect the cutoff. It is possible. It just depends. So be a part of the people benefiting, not the people who are now, you know, wondering about who moved their cheese. I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. Let's see if I can find the book. This is a classic. Okay, guys, I'm going to share this one with you because, hey, we can talk about whatever we want because I'm running this live Q&A. So who moved my cheese? This is one of the greatest books of all time. It's this one right here. We can pull it up on Amazon, and it's basically a book, and you can see there's been a number of levels to it. But this book, 1998, it's all about people who make two choices, essentially. You've got this pile of cheese that you've been feeding on as a mouse for a long time, and it's slowly starting to get eaten away. Some people complain. Others, whew, sneeze. Others leave and go find more cheese. So that's really where we're at right now, guys. The reality is, oh, and we've got this interfaced over here. Apologize. There we go. So who moved my cheese is all about adaptability. And if express entry shifts, then sometimes people have to shift. Yes, I know it's hard. Yes, I know it's difficult. But the reality is, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? All right, a couple more. Bella, yes, you are here. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Okay, Lewis says you're the best. No, you're the best, Lewis. I'll give you one of these ones. Okay, and then Robin, for you, I'm going to give you one of these ones. So you're going to really need Robin to book a consult so that we can go through everything in detail. And all you have to do is jump over here to our site, and you can click and book a consult with whoever is available and that fits within the questions that you have. So when it comes to eligibility, you really need to book that consult. Okay, and let's see here. Yeah, we've had a lot of people. RB says, hey, do you think that CRS is going to shoot up? And let's see if I can get this, shoot up in the air. Yes, it's entirely possible it could, but we just don't know for sure because it depends on how many people are actually coming through this. And that's actually a good reason to shift back here. And I'll show you on this page, you'll see that the target is to reach 4.4% of all PR applicants by 2023. And so they're below those targets. So at the current rate, the selection tools will not be sufficient to reach 4.4% target by 2023. So right now it's not a significant portion of people. So it just depends, I guess, ultimately on how many people have French language ability. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Rona says, hey, how much is your fee for a student with a dependent? Will applying PR by 2022 or 2023? Same thing right here. I'll give you one of these, Rona. To a large extent, our collaborative model is based on your individual makeup. So we do the consult, and then after the consultation, then we are able to determine how much it's going to cost. Every single person is a little bit different. And our key is to do it in such a way that it's affordable for you and that it makes sense with our flat fee model. Generally speaking, when we are doing study permit reviews, and it's a different collaborative model, so you still drive the ship, you still prepare your forms, you still set up your own MyCIC account, and then we go in and help review everything. So it's lower often than what you would pay other lawyers, but you get direct access to us, and that's the difference. We don't have paralegals in between that you work through, and you hardly even get a chance to talk to the lawyer except the first consult or the consultant or whoever you're working for and you're using in some of those big shops. So I'd encourage you to reach over and book a consult. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I am feeling a little sleepy right now. Looks like I deleted that. Let's go back over here. All right. So, hey, there I am, Mark Olthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, experimenting with all kinds of things. So guys, I will be back. Remember, this was all about, the whole reason that I did this was about this guy right here, Marco Mendicino, our Minister of Immigration, and everything about French and how they've now bumped the scores up to attract more Francophone candidates to increase the percentage that they want to see by 2023. All right, but this is Mark Olthe. I am a Canadian immigration lawyer, an ex-immigration officer. I host the Canadian Immigration Institute. Also, go over to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever your favorite podcast players are and listen to my Canadian Immigration podcast because I have that as well. And yeah, those of you who are going through Express Entry, remember always that I have I wonder if I can even pull this up. And this would be kind of fun if I can make this work. Igor's been trying to work with me on making these things work. So let's see if it actually does. Oh, it does! My Express Entry DIY course. There's the coupon code EEDIY50. And if you go to the Canadian Immigration Institute, you select the Express Entry Do-It-Yourself course, punch in that code, and you'll get 50% off for a full guided tour through Express Entry. All right, guys, Mark Olthe here, Canadian immigration lawyer, signing off. wishing you guys all the best as you navigate this crazy world that we call Canadian immigration. See you later.